Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, February 27th, just after 5:30 p.m., and welcome in here to a live update regarding the severe weather situation across the state this evening. The expected severe weather event is now underway here across the state. We do have a tornado watch that is in effect across much of northern Illinois through into tonight, and we do have numerous severe thunderstorms that have developed across portions of northwestern northern Illinois over the past couple of hours. And some of these storms are severe, as I mentioned, even a couple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, and even a tornado warning in effect right now. So this is out towards northwestern Illinois. Quad Cities area. This is occurring just to your south and just to your east in the Quad Cities metro area right now. Do have one tornado warning in effect right now. This is for Henry County. This is in sort of northwestern western Illinois, right along I-80 here, just north of Cambridge. We have this storm that is exhibiting some signs of rotation here, so the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning, as I mentioned, for Henry County. This is northeastern Henry County until 6:15 p.m. As I mentioned, this storm is just north of the Cambridge area right now. It is moving in the general direction of Atkinson and Anawan. That's right there along the I-80 corridor. So if you're anywhere in this area, north of Cambridge, heading towards Atkinson, Anawan, out here towards the I-80 corridor, this is just to the southeast of the Quad Cities metro area. We do have this storm here, which is showing it's not a lot of rotation. And right now it is fairly weak rotation, but nonetheless, this storm is showing a little bit of signs of rotation here at this point in time here, and that's why the National Weather Service has put out that tornado warning out there for northeastern Henry County. Backing out a little bit here, you will see that we do have other severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. All of these red boxes, these red polygons here, are severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. So if you're just to the south and east of the Quad Cities area, there's a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. As you head up towards the Sterling, Dixon area, heading up towards Rochelle, that area is also under two different severe thunderstorm warnings for this cluster of severe thunderstorms that are out across that area right now. Now, most of these storms are producing some hail. We have numerous reports of hail up to quarter size in many cases with some of these storms right now. So a lot of these storms are producing some hail. We could also see some damaging winds with some of this activity as well. But without a doubt, hail is the biggest threat with some of these severe thunderstorms at this point in time. And then obviously, once again, we do have that tornado warning for the weak rotation with this particular storm just north of the Cambridge area at this point in time. So with that, let's just take a quick look here at our forecast for the remainder of this evening and overnight tonight. As you can see here, we do have a severe weather risk in place across a large chunk of the state for tonight. You notice we did split it into two separate areas. There's a higher risk for more coverage and more significance of severe weather across northern Illinois. Some of that we're also already seeing right now. And then down there across southern Illinois, your severe weather threat, you're not getting anything right now. Across southern Illinois, your severe weather threat is actually going to come more later this evening and more so even into the overnight hours. So southern Illinois, I know it's quiet right now. I know it's dry right now, but your threat is still on the way down there for later this evening and more so overnight tonight. Whereas up for you folks across northern Illinois, some of you are seeing that severe weather already. And across northern Illinois, your threat is pretty much from now all the way into early tonight. By the time we get to 11 p.m. midnight time frame, the severe weather threat should come to an end across northern Illinois. So up there, it's over the next several hours, whereas southern Illinois, it's going to be more so during the night hours tonight. So with that said, let's hop back over here to our radar view, and let's try to check in here to our video chat, see if we could get to any comments or questions tonight. And I have many of you tuning in asking what to expect for your particular locations. let me actually flip back over to our map here because that'll give you an idea of what to expect for your particular location. So once again, northern Illinois, your severe weather risk is for right now all the way into early tonight. That severe weather risk across northern Illinois should come to an end by 10, 11, midnight tonight. Southern Illinois, your main severe weather risk is actually going to be tonight and overnight tonight into very early tomorrow morning. East Central Illinois, you've kind of fallen into a little bit of a gap. There is still the chance of an isolated severe thunderstorm in east central Illinois, for example, out towards Champaign and Danville, but the cap has really held on across that area, and as of right now, it looks like if anything forms and develops in east central Illinois, like I said, out towards Champaign and Danville, it's going to remain very, very isolated as it looks now compared to northern Illinois and southern Illinois, where there will be a higher coverage. More severe thunderstorms being possible, essentially, is what that means. So that just gives you an idea for any folks wondering what to expect for your town, and timing. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of a view on that. So once again here, going back in here to our live radar here, we do have several severe thunderstorms right now, south and east of the Quad Cities, and then all the way moving more into northern Illinois here in the vicinity of the I-88, I-39 corridor. We have this big cluster of severe storms from near Sterling to near Dixon, near Rochelle, down towards Paw Paw, just north of the Mendota area. These storms are capable of producing and have a history of producing hail up to around quarter size. Also can't rule out some damaging winds with some of that activity as well. And then going back to our tornado warning here, once again, we have a tornado warning in effect for northeastern Henry County, and that is until 6:15 p.m. So there's a tornado warning in effect for northeastern Henry County for about the next 30 minutes or so. Right now it's about 5:44 p.m., so about the next 30 minutes or so, that tornado warning is in effect until 6:15 p.m. for northeastern Henry County. All right, here, let's try to get to some comments and questions here once again. See, Lexi checking in from Stewart. That's out there in the Lee County area, mentioning you're getting a lot of lightning and thunder. Yes, you have one of those bigger storms are heading your way right now. Just to your south right now, but they are heading northeastward here towards your location in Stewart. So if you get some very heavy rainfall, don't be surprised if you get some hail with some of that activity as it moves into your neck of the woods as well. Continuing on here, Deb checking in from Freeport. As it looks right now, it does look like Freeport will remain in the clear for now. The cold front is actually sweeping through the Freeport area right now. Winds have actually turned northerly in Freeport, so it looks like up that far northwestern tip of Illinois, it does look like you're going to escape things, at least as it looks right now at this point in time. And just looking at things here, we have a new tornado warning that was actually just issued for down here. This is in east central Mercer County and southwestern Henry County. Tornado warning until 6:30 p.m. The storm here very near Windsor, closing in on Alpha and Woodhull, capable of producing a tornado. Just looking at the radar here, though, this is very weak rotation at this point in time. So the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for this particular storm out here towards portions of Mercer and Henry County. But once again, the rotation isn't all that strong right now, but that's not to say it cannot produce a tornado. We've seen storms produce tornadoes with weak rotation, strong rotation, and everything in between before. But as of right now, the storm is showing some signs of some weak rotation very near Windsor, down here in eastern Mercer County, and this storm is about to move over the border into southern Henry County here very shortly. So if you're in Windsor, Alpha, over towards Woodhull, be on the lookout for this particular storm capable of producing some hail and a tornado threat as well. Hopping a little bit back up to the north, this storm up here that has the tornado warning for northeastern Henry County near I-80 near Atkinson. You'll notice it's a very nice supercell shape now. You got this hook feature coming in here. It's a little bit hard to make out on the radar, but there is a little bit of an RFD punch, a rear flake downdraft punch coming in here as well on the backside of this hook. So it's definitely taken on some very nice supercell characteristics on this northern tornado warning. This is right off of I-80, closing in on the Atkinson area. Going to be moving very close to Anawan and Mineral before too long as well. This storm continues to show some signs of rotation, even increasing just a little bit better rotation on this storm than there was before, just to the south of the Atkinson area, just south of I-80 right now. So this storm is also capable of producing a tornado as well. And then as you go up a little further north, once again, we do have several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now across northern Illinois. From Sterling and Dixon almost down to Mendota, Rochelle, DeKalb is now under a severe thunderstorm warning, and it is for this big cluster. You can see it's a big, mean-looking cluster of severe thunderstorms right now that are moving kind of east-northeasterly through portions of Lee County right now, and this activity is going to move east-northeast into parts of Ogle, eventually into parts of DeKalb and Kane counties. So if you are in that corridor right there, especially along I-88 here, be on the lookout for some hail and some damaging winds with that activity, especially the hail. The hail is going to be the #1 severe weather threat with that activity today, followed by obviously also that threat maybe for some damaging winds and isolated tornado activity with some of this as well. All right, now let me try to get over and get to some of these comments and questions, because I know there's a lot going on, and every time I try to get to a comment, we have a new warning that is issued. So with that said here, let's see here. Amanda checking in from Peoria. Yes, Peoria should be all clear. We are not expecting any severe weather threat. Once again, to restate that, we are not expecting any severe weather threat tonight for places like Quincy, Springfield, Peoria. You folks should be all in the clear for this event. The threat is going to be more so northern, eastern, and southern Illinois, as it looks like at this point in time. See many folks tuning in from the Chicago metro area. So all of this activity occurring right now out across northwestern Illinois. This is all going to move into northeastern Illinois in the Chicago area over the next several hours. So even though you don't have anything going on right now in the Chicago metro area, or any of northeastern Illinois for that matter, be on the lookout over the next couple of hours, because it is going to be headed your way. All right, let's try to get to some more specific comments and questions. See Pam checking in from Sublet, mentioning you're getting some hail right now. Thank you for that report. All right here, and I do want to mention that both Adam and Nick are out chasing tonight, so you might see them chime in from time to time on our social media pages this evening, maybe with some chase reports, because both Adam and Nick are out chasing tonight. They are closing in. I know Nick is closing in on some of this activity, at least. I'm not sure where Adam is right now, but I do know Nick is closing in on some of this activity. So stay tuned to our pages tonight for not only continuing updates here regarding live coverage, but hopefully Nick and Adam will chime in from time to time if they see anything interesting out on any of their chases this evening. All right, so with that said, continuing on here, we do have many warnings that are in effect right now. As I mentioned, many warnings that are in effect right now. We have several severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings that are in effect here for portions of northwestern-ish Illinois here into northern Illinois. You see we do have these two pink-colored boxes here. These are two separate tornado warnings in effect at this point in time. We have a tornado warning until 6:15 p.m. for northeastern Henry County. This is for this supercell thunderstorm right along I-80 right now, capable of producing a tornado very close to the Atkinson area, closing in on Anawan right now. If you've ever traveled along I-80 and stopped in Anawan before, there's a very good ice cream and cinnamon roll shop right there. So if you know where that is, anyone in that area right now, definitely want to seek shelter. We have this supercell storm headed your way towards the Anawan and Mineral area right along I-80. It is capable of producing a tornado, and the rotation on this has increased just a bit here over the past 10 minutes or so, so definitely going to want to keep an eye on this one. Also, a little bit further south here towards Windsor, we have another storm that is moving from eastern Mercer County, and it's now moving into southern Henry County. This storm near Windsor also going to be moving towards Alpha and Woodhull very soon. Just south of Andover as well. Going to be crossing I-74 here in southwestern Henry County. This storm also has a tornado warning in effect, and that tornado warning is in effect until 6:30 p.m. All right, here, all these little icons here, you might not be able to see them here, but all these little orange icons with this little white plus in the middle of it, these are all reports of hail. So you can see these storms are producing hail with them. Many of them are producing hail. Hail was always going to be the biggest severe weather threat today, with damaging winds and isolated tornado threat being the secondary risks. But hail was always going to be the biggest threat today, and we are seeing that come to fruition here with numerous, countless hail reports coming in already with some of this activity here. All right, here, let me see if I could get a little bit more information here, see if there's anything new to give you. I don't see any new information regarding things at this point in time. So for right now, we do have these 2 tornado warnings that continue to be in effect here out across areas just to the east and the southeast of the Quad Cities area at this point in time. That is the main story at this point. 2 tornado warnings in effect, both of these storms capable of producing a tornado and also some large hail. This particular supercell heading towards Atkinson and Anawan here in northern Henry County right along I-80. We do have some new reports of hail of 1.25 inches in diameter, so that's hail larger than quarter size, very near Geneseo, I believe that's how it's pronounced there, out in northern Henry County. And once again, this supercell thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is moving through the Atkinson area and will be pushing towards Anawan and Mineral very shortly. And it looks like we have a confirmed tornado now. So this storm, very close to Atkinson. This is just south of I-80. It does have a confirmed tornado at this time. The National Weather Service just updated their product here, and there is a confirmed tornado now on the ground with this storm just south of Atkinson right now. It is being reported by spotters at this point in time. I'm trying to see if I could get any more information right now. I don't see anything more updated than that, but yes, National Weather Service is confirming. Spotters, chasers have reported a confirmed tornado with this particular storm here coming very near the Atkinson area. If you're in Atkinson, you're probably going to get some hail. The tornado right now, if it is still on the ground, as is being reported, would be just south of I-80, just to the southwest of Atkinson, and this is going to be moving very close to the Anawan area very shortly, and eventually over towards the Mineral area. So once again, if you're in Anawan, that's a very small community there off of I-80. You're going to want to seek shelter in that area, and then the town after that is Mineral. Mineral, you are not under a tornado warning right now, but this storm is heading in your general direction, so you may want to seek shelter as well. Once again, we have a confirmed tornado here from the National Weather Service in their latest warning update here. This is just to the southwest of Atkinson. It is moving off towards the east at about 30 miles per hour. It's going to be moving very close to Atkinson here very shortly, and then it will be pushing off towards Mineral a short time after that. And then not to forget, we also have that other tornado warning in effect a little bit further to the south. This is moving out of eastern Mercer County, and it is about to move into southwestern Henry County. This is very close to Windsor. The Alpha area will be moving close to Woodhull, maybe even close to Andover as well. So if you're in any of those communities, definitely keep an eye on things. You are all under tornado warning at this point in time for this particular small supercell-like structured storm here moving off towards the east as well. And not to forget you folks further north, because you are getting some severe weather up north as well. There is a massive cluster of severe thunderstorms right now that spans pretty much across the entirety of Lee County right now. So from near Sterling through Amboy, Dixon, Sublette, up through Ashton, Paw Paw, up near Rochelle, this whole county here, this is Lee County. This cluster of severe thunderstorms pretty much encompasses the whole county of Lee County at this point in time. Probably seeing some hail in some of those locations that I mentioned right now. Some of it could be large. Wouldn't rule out the chance of some damaging winds with some of that activity as well. Now, this activity across Lee County is going to continue to push off towards the northeast, and it will be moving into DeKalb and Kane counties here before too long. So you folks in places like DeKalb and Kane County, you are already under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for this activity that is in Lee County that will eventually be sliding off towards the northeast into Kane and DeKalb counties. All right, here, I'm going to leave the radar image up here. And let's try to get a little more information here. All right, here. I see no new update on things as of this time, but nonetheless, we do continue to have a couple of tornado warnings in effect here. The first one, the important one right now because it is a confirmed tornado, we do have a recently confirmed tornado just to the southwest of Atkinson. This is in northern Henry County, very close to the I-80 corridor. This continues to shift off towards the east. So once again, if you're in places like Anawan or Mineral, you'll want to seek shelter and keep an eye to the sky because we do have this supercell thunderstorm moving in, capable of producing a tornado. One was reported a short time ago just to the southwest of Atkinson. And if you are in Atkinson, you're probably getting some hail right now with this particular severe thunderstorm. And then a little bit further to the south, we have that second tornado warning that's in effect here. This is for far eastern Mercer County into southern Henry County. And it looks like this radar needs to be updated. There we go. Now we also have a tornado warning in effect for portions of, let's get to that one because I was a little bit behind here. We also have a tornado warning in effect for portions of LaSalle and Lee counties. This is in northern Illinois here. This is a big tornado warning. Places like Stewart, Compton, Paw Paw, near Earlville, just north of Mendota, Sublette, over towards Lee Center here. Big tornado warning in effect here, and there is some rotation in here between the Sublette and Compton area right now. There's a couple areas of rotation, this one being the most notable one right here, right in the middle of the screen here where that red and green, the bright red and the green come together here. That's what we call a couplet. That's our area of rotation here just towards the northeast of Sublette here, and you can see that rotation increasing here right now. So if you are in the vicinity of Compton right now, we do have a good radar signature here that there could be a possible tornado here just to the west of the Compton area right now out here across parts of Lee County. So a couple different tornado warnings in effect right now. Let's hop back down to this one right here. Looking back down towards the Anawan area. So this particular storm has been coming through the Atkinson area, and you can see here on the radar, this is what we call a couplet. This is where the rotation is showing up here on the radar. It's coming into the Anawan area right now. It would not be surprising to see if this is producing a tornado right now. That's a fairly good radar signature right here, coming about to cross I-80, very close to Anawan. This is northern Henry County, so if you are in the community of Anawan or anywhere near there, it does look like we have a potential for a tornado right now with some very good rotation showing up. This is very close to I-80, coming right into the Anawan area at this point in time. A little bit further south, the good news is the storm coming out of Mercer County into southern Henry County, the tornado warning has been canceled. Once again, the storm coming out of Mercer County into southern Henry County, the one that was right around the Windsor, Alpha, Woodhull, Andover area, that storm has weakened just a little bit and that tornado warning has been canceled. However, we still do have two other tornado warnings that continue to remain in effect at this point in time. This one in particular right now is for near Atkinson. Once again, this is northern Henry County right now. We do have a very good radar signature showing up here with rotation at this point in time. This is very near the community of Anawan. So if you are in along I-80 right now between Atkinson and Anawan, there could be a potential tornado crossing I-80 right now, just to the west of Anawan right now. So if you are anywhere near that area, definitely be on the lookout and be seeking shelter, because we are seeing some very strong rotation right now. As you can see here, where this bright red and the bright green comes together, this is what we call a couplet. That's the radar showing us the rotation. So right now we are seeing that fairly strong rotation very close to the community of Anawan. This red line that cuts right across the screen here, this wavy red line, right where the rotation is, that red line is I-80. That's Interstate 80. So this potential for a tornado would be coming right around the I-80 area right now, right near the community of Anawan. So if you are in that area, definitely be on the lookout. And we have gotten an extension on that tornado warning. So we now have a tornado warning in effect for east, central, and northwestern Bureau County until 7 p.m. We continue to see a report of a confirmed tornado near Anawan at this point in time. So that tornado is on the ground right now, very close to the community of Anawan right now. So once again, if you are in parts of northeastern, eastern Henry County up into northwestern Bureau County, all of you folks are under a tornado warning at this time, and that is in effect until 7 p.m., and that is for this supercell thunderstorm that is currently producing a tornado very near I-80, close to Anawan up there in northern Henry County. Additionally, we are also watching still this cluster of severe thunderstorms, which also has a tornado warning in effect for it. This tornado warning is in effect for portions of northwestern LaSalle County and eastern Lee County, and that is until 6:45 p.m., and that is for this particular storm right here that is capable of producing a tornado. Maybe a little bit hard to see, but there is some rotation here where that red and green comes together, very bright. That's what we call a couplet. That's the radar showing us where that rotation is. Very close to West Brooklyn right now. Going to be coming into the Compton area, eventually close to Paw Paw, and also close to Scarborough. Eventually could come towards the Shabana area in DeKalb County as well. But for right now, tornado warning also for parts of northern LaSalle County and eastern and southeastern Lee County. Right now, that rotation, once again, with this potential tornado-producing storm is right around West Brooklyn and the Compton area at this point in time. All right, here, I'm going to leave the radar up here, and I'm going to try to see if we could get some any updated information here. All right. Just seeing if we get any more confirmation of things here. Give me one moment. All right, not seeing any new information at this point in time. Just continuing here with these 2 tornado warnings that we have in effect. I'm trying to see if I could find any pictures of this tornado right now, but I do not see any pictures of it at this point in time. The one near the Atkinson, Anawan area. Not seeing any pictures of it at this point in time, but nonetheless, there have been numerous reports of a tornado on the ground very near the Atkinson area at this point in time. That area of rotation right now is just to the north side of Anawan. So this potential tornado on the ground just crossed I-80, just to the west of Anawan, and it is going to be moving off to the north end of town, north end of Anawan, going to be crossing State Route 78 on the north side of Anawan here in northern Henry County very shortly. And this continues to move off towards the east. So if you're in places like Mineral or Manillas, be on the lookout for this storm as it continues to track across portions of eastern Henry County and also into shortly portions of Bureau County as well here with this tornado warning that continues to be in effect until 7 p.m. Once again, also want to go up and cover this other tornado warning that we also continue to have in effect here. This one is in effect until, I believe it was 7 p.m., 6:45 p.m. 6:45 p.m. on this tornado warning here. This area of rotation very near the Compton area right now, the West Brookland area of Lee County. So once again, tornado warning in effect for far northern LaSalle and a good chunk of the eastern half of Lee County until 6:45 p.m. Radar indicating that rotation and potential for a tornado to be very close to West Brookland and very close to Compton right now. So if you are in places like Paw Paw, Scarborough, Lee, even into Shabana in DeKalb County, you're going to want to keep a lookout for this particular tornado warned storm that is heading off in a generally easterly direction at this point in time. And I do see on social media here, I do see some photos from this tornado-warned storm that is in Lee County right now. It does look like it has a lowering with it at this point in time, so that's definitely going to be something we're going to have to watch here. So once again, on this Lee County storm, I am seeing some photos here on social media of a lowering with this particular storm in its area of rotation right now, very close to West Brookland, very close to Compton, going to be moving off towards the east, towards Paw Paw, Scarborough, Lee, and eventually off towards Shabana as well. And then back towards the south here, we continue to have the likelihood that a tornado has been on the ground from south of Atkinson. It likely has crossed I-80 on the northwest side of Anawan, and it is probably crossing State Route 78 just to the north side of Anawan right now. This is in eastern Henry County. The storm is very shortly going to be pushing into Bureau County. So once again, if you're in places like Mineral, eventually over towards Manillas, you're definitely going to want to seek shelter. This storm continues to be capable of producing a tornado and already has produced a tornado in the vicinity of I-80 between Atkinson and Anawan. So we're going to continue to watch this storm very closely as well. The good news is if you're in the Quad Cities area, the severe weather threat is over with for the Quad Cities area. The cold front has already moved through the Quad Cities. You have seen your temperatures drop from the 70s all the way down into the 50s already. So that is a strong cold front moving through. So once again, the severe weather threat in the Quad Cities area is done. The cold front has passed your location. Places like Dubuque, Freeport, your severe weather threat is also done for the day. The cold front has now passed you. If you're in Rockford, your severe weather threat is just about over for the day today as well. The cold front is passing your location as well. So that is some good news there. We could clear some areas from the severe weather threat across northern Illinois. However, for other areas, you can see severe weather continues to be ongoing. This is going to be something we're going to be sticking with for the rest of this evening and into overnight tonight as well. We're going to be hopping on from time to time, giving you these live coverage updates. Now, it's not going to be wall-to-wall live coverage that we give you tonight, but we will be hopping on from time to time like I've been doing now, and we'll give you some live coverage updates from time to time tonight. Continuing on this current coverage update, though, once again, continue to have 2 tornado warnings in effect at this point in time. First tornado warning is in effect here. First tornado warning is in effect here for portions of eastern Henry and parts of Bureau County. This is in effect until 7 p.m. Right now it's about 6:11 p.m., so we continue to have a tornado warning in effect for portions of eastern Henry, good chunk of Bureau counties. That's in effect until 7 p.m. We saw a likely tornado cross I-80 between Atkinson and Anawan here in parts of Henry County, and we are still seeing a little bit of that rotation here north of Anawan. Actually, some pretty good rotation here. There likely probably is a good chance there's still a tornado with this just to the north of Anawan, right along State Route 78 right now. So there's probably quite likely a tornado still on the ground here with this particular storm just north of Anawan right now, just north of I-80. This is going to continue to move off towards the east, so once again, if you're in places like Manillas, even up to New Bedford, you're going to want to keep an eye on this, want to seek shelter because this storm is heading your way and is still capable of producing a tornado with it at this point in time, as it is still showing some fairly good rotation with it. The other area we continue to watch is out here across Lee County. We have this big cluster. This is a huge cluster of showers and thunderstorms and severe thunderstorms across Lee, DeKalb, and soon Kane County. A lot of this activity capable of producing some large hail with it, and a particular storm right here near Compton, closing in on Paw Paw here very shortly, is showing some signs of rotation with it and capable of producing a tornado with that activity as well. Getting a little bit of a better view here on this particular storm. You can see a little bit of rotation right in there very near the Compton and Paw Paw, Scarborough area. So that storm is actually going to be exiting southeastern Lee County very shortly, and very soon it will be moving into portions of DeKalb County. Speaking of DeKalb County, you have your own supercell storm here. You can see this hook-shaped storm here right near DeKalb, Shabana, Waterman here. This is another supercell storm that has taken shape here, and it is also showing a little bit of rotation here. So as of right this moment, as of 6:15, there is not a tornado warning for DeKalb County yet, but it would not be surprising if they issue one, because we are seeing some rotation right now near Shabana, near the Waterman area as well. So if you're in those areas of DeKalb County, Shabana, Waterman, you might want to seek shelter. Keep an eye to the sky, keep an eye to the storm, because it is showing signs of rotation, even though there is not a tornado warning in effect yet. We could see one issued here very shortly. So a couple of supercell thunderstorms here smashed together across northern Illinois that we're watching. Many of these storms are severe. Like I said, the greatest threat, the biggest threat overall, without a doubt, is hail. But as you can see here, we also have that isolated tornado threat as well, and we could see a couple of instances of damaging winds as well. So a very, very active evening across northern Illinois here. Now, you folks in northeastern Illinois, the Chicago area, you haven't seen anything yet. But this activity here, if I put this radar in motion here, you can see how it develops, and it's moving off towards the east. So if you're in Chicago metro area, northeastern Illinois, you haven't gotten anything yet, but your time is coming soon over the next few hours. You will be getting in on this severe weather activity in northeastern Illinois and the Chicago metro area over the next couple of hours. So stay tuned to the weather situation, because this activity out to the west is going to be moving in that direction. Now, you folks across southern Illinois, you're not getting anything yet. Going back over to our severe weather forecast, you folks in southern Illinois have not seen anything yet, but you're going to have a severe weather threat through much of the overnight hours tonight. So southern Illinois, your threat is overnight tonight. Eastern Illinois, we're still holding on to an isolated threat for you, places like Champaign and Danville, but overall, your threat has really come down through the day today, but you could see an isolated threat for a severe thunderstorm across Eastern Illinois, places like Champaign, Danville. That'll be this evening into early tonight. But once again, Southern Illinois, your threat is for overnight tonight. It's been quiet so far, but that'll change tonight. Northern Illinois, your threat is going to continue to be through the remainder of this evening and into tonight. The threat across Northern Illinois should come to an end by 10, 11, midnight tonight. So still several more hours to go across parts of Northern Illinois here. So a lot going on weather-wise across the state today. We've seen records broken. High temperatures across the state today made it into the 70s and 80s once again today. So a very, very active weather day with record high temperatures, now severe weather. And I know a lot of you aren't going to want to hear this, but it's going to get cold tomorrow. We're going to be seeing temperatures drop into the teens and the 20s for tomorrow morning. We could even get some snow showers across parts of northern and central Illinois tomorrow morning. So it is going to be a very drastic shift in weather conditions here over the next 12 to 18 hours. But once again, to wrap up this current live coverage update, we're going to take a little break here. We're going to continue to monitor the situation. Once again, it is now 6:17 p.m. We have widespread severe thunderstorms occurring across northern Illinois. These red boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. The pink boxes are tornado warnings in effect as of 6:17 p.m. All of this activity is moving to the east across northern Illinois. So once again, if you're in the Chicago metro area, northeastern Illinois, you will be impacted by these severe thunderstorms over the next couple of hours. The severe weather threat across northern Illinois will continue for the next several hours, but it'll come to an end by 10, 11, or midnight tonight. Southern Illinois, once again, your severe weather threat will be overnight tonight. And that about sums it up for now. So we'll go ahead and end this live coverage portion for this evening. We'll continue to monitor things through the evening tonight as well, and we will continue to come back with more updates as they are needed.